Welcome to Group G of the World Cup qualifying zone for the African section. And this is the standings in Group G. South Africa sitting proudly atop with 4 points. They're unbeaten. As for Ethiopia, the host today, well, they too managed to get their first win under their belt in the last group game in some dramatic fashion. And that's the state of affairs as we look forward to this game at the Verde Stadium in Ethiopia. Unfortunately, as you can see, it'll be behind closed doors, but that won't take away anything from what's at stake in this crunch game. Ethiopia, of course, have qualified for next year's Africa Cup of Nations, unlike South Africa, and that will mean South Africa can afford to focus solely on their World Cup qualifying campaign. So far, so good, although, in fairness, you have to say they did leave it late in their last game against Ghana. It was a hard-fought victory, and in the end, 1-0. They scored a goal just, 5-6 minutes from time, thanks to Halang Hwane, who I can tell you will be in the starting 11 for today's crunch game. I say they left it late. They didn't leave it as late as Ethiopia. Ethiopia snatched victory in the highest of dramas. A goal deep in stoppage time from the penalty spot, would you believe? And that was coolly converted by their central defender, Ashalu Tamene. And that means they were up and running. In their former game, their previous game, rather their opening game, they were unlucky to lose 1-0 against Ghana, the highly fancied Ghana. Ethiopia acquitted themselves very well. So the scene is set for a very evenly balanced game here. And once the teams come out onto the pitch, we'll be able to enjoy the national anthems before getting down to football business. Two experienced coaches in charge of both teams. For Ethiopia, Wubetu Abate, and his opposite number, Hugo Boros, who had his first competitive game in charge in South Africa's group starter. South Africa made to fight all the way by Ghana, the Black Stars, in that last game at the stadium, of course, which hosted the 2010 World Cup finals. South Africa, the only country to have the honour of hosting world football's biggest ever event. Well, there are a few lucky fans. They're probably working in relation to the stadium, in relation to the game, no doubt. And just to remind you of the standings, South Africa top on 4 points. They kicked off with a goalless draw against Southern African neighbours Zimbabwe. That was in Zimbabwe. And Ghana, a level pegging on 3 points with today's hosts, Ethiopia, and Zimbabwe, a rock bottom. And the other group game, will see Ghana take on Zimbabwe, and that will be straight after this game. At 1800 Central European Time, that's 1600 hours Greenwich Mean Time. And I can tell you that the reverse fixture between South Africa and Ethiopia will be played on Tuesday. Back-to-back games then. And so a double victory would really put the winners in good stead to go on to win this group. Just to remind you of the format for qualifying. This is round 2 of qualifying in the African zone on the road to Qatar 2022. There are 10 groups of 4. It's only the group winners who advance to the next round. So a lot at stake, and even with winning the group, that doesn't guarantee you automatic qualification for Qatar. And the 10 teams will be drawn, and they'll play a home and away knockout match. And it's the 5 winners of those 5 crunch ties who then will have the honour of representing Africa at next year's World Cup finals in Qatar. It's the South Africa flag, of course, the Bafana Bafana, as they're known. So we'll hear the two national anthems, and we start with the visitors, South Africa's first, followed by the hosts, Ethiopia.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand for national anthem of the two countries. First, the national anthem of South Africa. Now, the national anthem of Ethiopia.
A rousing rendition of the Ethiopian national anthem, and that will have got the juices flowing. Quickly run you through the Ethiopian side. Just one change to the side that dramatically won last time out, and that change comes in attacking midfield, where Suradel Danyasho comes in at number 8, replacing Mesud Mohamed, who's out. Useful addition. 2 goals in 7 caps. This will be his 8th cap for Ethiopia. Today's match referee, Abdul Bahid Khuraywida from Libya. More changes to the South African starting 11. 3. At left back comes in Mashego, number 21. He replaces Morena. And then we have Mabasa in centre forward position, replacing Percy Tau. And the right winger, Vincent Pule, replaces Magopa. He's on the bench, perhaps paying the price for missing an open goal in South Africa's last game at home to Ghana. So the Ethiopian coach, Wubetu Abate, very much putting the onus on continuity. Here's the South African side. And their captain is their goalkeeper, Rowan Williams. So South Africa on the left of your screen with the yellow jerseys and green shorts. Whereas Ethiopia on the right of your picture, green tops. And it is South Africa who kick off this Group G World Cup qualifying match against the hosts Ethiopia. And a direct start from the Bafana. 1 point between these two sides. Top of the table, South Africa on 4 points, 1 more than Ethiopia. And South Africa will test the Ethiopian defence straight away from this long throw-in. Nicely controlled. Danger still there. Look at that. Nervous defending from Ethiopia. A lot of power as the ball was kicked out of play. So first corner of the game to South Africa. Swung in. That's a better header from Emmanuel Gebremichael. South Africa get behind the Ethiopian defence. That's a good delivery. Little deep, as is that. Good header back, first chance on goal. It was blocked. Ball's loose, cleared away. Much to the relief of Ethiopia, that is not a second consecutive corner. Well, here's the goal match scramble. And that's a good decision. The ball bouncing off Mabasa, the South African striker. Referee plays an advantage. Ethiopia mount their first attack. A little bit too much on that. Well, he's fast, but not that fast. Mobi with the throw. Nicely done. Not too much space. Well, that was telegraphed. Hit right at the South African midfielder. He's done well. On the dummy. Not working out there. Ball defending by Azrat Tunyo. Not sure his coach would have appreciated that. He took a slight risk, but got away with it.
Go.
They do like to run with the ball, Ethiopia. Eagerly chased, but he couldn't get the ball. Well shielded by Mashego. Didn't play the last game, Mashego. Here he is again. Well, that rather smacks of desperation by South Africa. They might say they were trying the Route 1 approach. Yeah, the first 5 to 10 minutes of any game. Just the chance for players to put out feelers, get their bearings. A few signs of nerves, as in that misplaced pass, which gave possession to South Africa. It's back with Ethiopia now. Not like the team, able to sustain possession for any significant amount of time. And expect a long throw again. We saw one before from this man. Mobi. A lot of air. Not much pace on the throw-in. Let's see what his crossing's like. It's better. Easy take in the end for Fazil Gebremichael. That's a very scrappy opening 5 minutes. I think the importance of the occasion, perhaps getting to both sets of players. Both teams appear to be lining up in a 4-3-3 formation. Nice idea. Just trying to curl the ball behind the South African central defenders. Juicy tackle. Referee letting it go for the moment. Looks to be an awkward bounce on the pitch. South African defenders having trouble controlling that. In the end, just resorting to hitting the ball upfield. It will be a free kick. It's some distance out, so don't expect it to be direct. Decent delivery and a good header, just flashing across the goal mouth. Well, Ethiopia, be warned. Ethiopia looking to play the ball out from the restart. Statement of intent. It's a positive sign, until they lost it, that is. Clumsy clearance. An ambitious back heel, as they lose possession again. Mobby appeals for handball. Referee did see it, dismissed it straight away, but gives that one. We got ourselves a talking point. Libyan referee, Abdul Wahid Khuraiwida, had a pretty clear view of that incident. Turned away pretty much straight away. It's confident play in midfield by Yared Bai. There's a run down the right wing. They were looking to reach him. There's the newcomer, Ashego. A chance now for Ethiopia. There's some pull back. Good effort. Seemed to lose control of it though, just at the moment of shooting. It's a pity for the newcomer, Surafel Danyashu. He's encouraged by his teammates, including his captain, Gitane Kabede. Nicely laid up by Nasir Abubakar. Oh dear. Ambitious play once again. Fazil Gebremichael. Now this is a goalkeeper. It came into the first match after the first choice goalkeeper for Ethiopia made a really bad mistake. Let the ball slip through between his legs, gifting Ghana the goal. It would prove to be the only goal of the game. And he was substituted in the very same half. That man was Tekla Mariam Shanko. And since then, the man between the sticks has kept his position. Maybe called into action here. Well, they do like to play football. It's a statement of the obvious, perhaps, but what I mean is they like to spread the ball around. And that does invite the opposition to come onto them. It means they do make mistakes in the back, but their philosophy is, well, as long as we're scoring more goals than we're conceding, That will do us. They haven't been prolific though. Just the one goal. From the penalty spot, so yet to score from open play. Now the man down on his haunches is Mabasa, clutching his right ankle. He's come in replacing Percy Tau. He thought about the pass. Wasn't an obvious pass. South Africa just beginning to apply the pressure. Not exactly turning the screw. Nicely collected. Yeah, that was gratuitous by Nasser Abubakar on Mobi. He's clutching his jaw. There is contact there, but in fact there's no contact on the jaw, which perhaps explains Nasser Abubakar's reaction. Anything to gain an advantage, eh? The margins are fine between a good pass and a bad one. But as I said, Ethiopia's defence do tend to play the pass that they see. It's instinctive. But as I say, it's not without risk. Sensible layoff. Ramadan Yusuf. That's a great tackle. Superb tackle by Mashego, and that perhaps explains why he's in the starting 11. Here they come again down that right wing. Mashego gives chase. Nicely played. It's the penalty area. Cheeky back heel, and the shot blazed over the bar. Well, that's a disappointing end to a promising build-up. Ronwen Williams, not happy with his defence. Giving them instructions. Here's the build-up. Lovely play down the right channel by Emmanuel Gebremichael. The back heel is exquisite by the captain, Ketani Kabede. Final shot, well, the less said the better. That'll be a South Africa throw. Well held up. So they're making slow progress down that right wing. Substitutes busy analysing and discussing the game. Mobi gets ready for his third long throw-in. Wins his aerial duel. Look at that. Double marked, and it pays off for Ethiopia. They get the rub of the bounce. Mobi has to backtrack sharpish. Oh dear, comedy of errors. Spending a lot of time in their own half, Ethiopia. Nicely done. Hopeful ball, just over the top by the Bafana. It's a shame there are no fans here at this stadium. Bahia Dar, the name of the stadium. Excellent interception. Referee just getting in the way. So he'll present a drop ball. There's the Belgian coach of South Africa, Hugo Broos. 69 years of age, vastly experienced. Used to coach Cameroon. In fact, guided them to the Africa Cup of Nations back in, what, 2017? And there's Wubetu Abate, coach in charge of Ethiopia. Took over just over a year ago. He's on a 2-year contract. As I say, he's got them through to the Africa Cup of Nations. So that's a good start already. Pretty tough group, though, for Ethiopia. They've been thrown in with the hosts, Cameroon, as well as Burkina Faso and Cape Verde. Ball nearly fell kindly to South Africa, that is. Oh, that's Bross's assistant, Sidomir Janevski. Well dealt with, back out to Mobi. Good delivery in, and they get the header again, South Africa. It's an area where Ethiopia need to improve. And Vala makes his way back into midfield. Powerfully built to use that power. That's the kamikaze defending I've been talking about. Ball over the top, quickly played, a little bit too quick. Certainly a bit too much pace on it. Linesman's flag was up anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Well, he dwelt on the ball there. Managed to keep possession. Not that time, though. Yeah, passing hasn't been very crisp today from Ethiopia. Known as the Walia ibex, which is a type of goat. Not to be confused with the greatest of all time abbreviation. Although if they win the group, if they beat South Africa this afternoon, and again on Tuesday, they might well be regarded as the greatest of all time of Ethiopia. This is a very good run. Head down by Mobi. Couldn't deliver the final pass, though. Well, halfway through the opening 45 minutes. It's been a scrappy affair so far. You know what's coming now. It'd be good if you could just give up some air for some power here. But he's won a corner kick, so he's not doing too badly, not too shabby at all. Penny for your thoughts, Mr. Coach. Referee having to step in between Nasser Abubakar and Mabassa. Two forwards. It's a very deep corner kick. That'll be a throw-in. So rather a waste. Yusuf. The ball got stuck beneath Nasser Abubakar's feet. But the newcomer has won the ball back for Ethiopia. Yared Bay switches play. Nice touch by Asrat Junjo. Here he is again. Isolated. Plays the right ball. Great tackle. That's better. Superb ball. And well read by the goalkeeper. Romain Williams, captain of South Africa, showing that he's following the game attentively. Kitame. Bekele. That's amateurish. But he go for goal. Good effort and a good save. Best shot of the match so far from Ramadan Yusuf. Now there's the mistake. In fact, Yusuf setting up the newcomer, Surafel Danyasho. Powerful. He was dipping as well. Forced a good one-handed save by Williams. Short corner, taken quickly. Nicely done. Teed up. South Africa. Fortune favours the brave. A good piece of defending. Leads to a goal kick. Taking his time is Williams. Not a bad idea. Ethiopia have been enjoying a purple patch. Trying to break their rhythm. Yusuf, the man who set up that pile driver shot. Yared Bay. Done well. That's number 8. Just saw a lively interception. Good tackle, followed by that blistering shot of his. Justifying his inclusion in the starting 11, I would say. Game's been fiercely contested, without having really come to life. Couple of good chances for both sides. Didn't get his lines right there. Nice little give and go. Yusuf. That's a foul. Right under the referee's nose. Derek. Central defender. Member of the South African team that won the COSAFA Cup. Plays his football at Mamelodi Sons. Just about got the ball off in the nick of time. Bobby wanted to take a quick throw in, but he didn't have any support. Just want to chase. Coolly played by Williams. He won't have thanked his teammate for the back pass. 30 minutes gone, no goals. Will that change before the half-time whistle? That's well played. A little bit too much on it for Mobby. Can Ethiopia come into the game more? They could do with the 12th man in the form of the home support, but that's not happening. So they'll just have to make do with what they can. Well, it's patient by Ethiopia. They know when to switch flanks, just to vary the options going forward. Here's the newcomer, Sarah Fell. Not that time, Ramadan. Likes to get forward though, the left back. Good control with his, what was that, his shoulder. A chance of a counter now for South Africa. It's 4 against 4. 5 against 4 as he cuts in, pulls the trigger. Good effort. Goalkeeper looked to have it covered, but nonetheless, very good individual effort indeed. Good decoy run by Mashego. Well, both teams very much cancelling each other out. Individual bursts into attack, like that effort for South Africa. That was gratuitous. Referee allows play to go on. Nice play, getting behind the defence, keeps the ball in play, comes back off Mashego, and the left back brings the ball out. It's a nothing ball, just pumped up forward to nobody in particular. And that is a South African substitute. Or rather, it's Mabasa, ready to come back onto the field of play. Centre forward. Oh, no, indeed. It is the first substitution of the game. And off comes Mabasa after just 35 minutes. And he's replaced by Victor Letsoala. Good first touch. A danger man for Ethiopia. Abubakar. Well, they're huffing and they're puffing, but they can't break down that South African defensive wall. Not yet, at any rate. Referee lets that one go. It was physical. Well, I don't think he knew too much about that. That's an excellent through ball. And what a save! Williams, the captain for South Africa, comes to their rescue. Point blank save. What a reflex. Intervention. It's a good period, this, for Ethiopia. Bekele, it's unlucky. Shimelis Bekele shimmying his way through the defence. Williams, well, South Africa have him to thank for not conceding there. Lovely through ball. Defender missed his challenge. Terrific play. Nasir Abubakar couldn't quite get the final touch on it. Well played in by Surafel Danyashu. Another ball over the top. Ethiopia have worked out a possible flaw in the South African defence. That time it won't count. That was offside. South Africa haven't had too much in the way of chances in the past 10-15 minutes. Well, they play with a good rhythm, Ethiopia. And again, the slide rule pass. Will this be the breakthrough? Number 10, Abubakar, foiled again by the goalkeeper, Williams. Almost a carbon copy of the previous chance. And it's the same reaction from the goalkeeper, Williams. Not best pleased. Lovely slide rule pass. Well, he was quick to react to his Abubakar. Not really in control of his shot, though. Could have done with just lifting it over the advancing goalkeeper, Williams. Easier said than done, though. That's 3-4 times in the past 10 minutes that Ethiopia have got through the South African defence. And it's by a combination of balls over the top, as well as defence-splitting balls on the deck. And that was rather casual there by Surafel Danyashum. But he's been the architect in defence of pretty much everything good that Ethiopia have been doing. Abubakar couldn't control that. Just 5 minutes till the half-time whistle. 5 minutes of regulation time, I should say. Well, that's a good press by South Africa, forcing the mistake from Ethiopia. Rather hurried his pass there. That can happen sometimes when you run with the ball instead of weighing up the pass. It's been an unusual half at the start of the game. South Africa were dealt a blow when they lost a newcomer, Poulet. That was even before the game started, would you believe? Vincent Poulet pulled up, injured in the warm-up, and he was replaced by another Vincent, Kutumela. Or Tabiso, I should say, Tabiso Kutumela, who had that one excellent chance. Since then, South Africa replaced their centre-forward. Another newcomer, Mabasa, with Victor Letsowola. He won't get a chance to deliver the cross. Wubetu Abate. Former professional player himself. used to coach Ethiopian Coffee. Guided them to the league title back in 2011. He's coached in Sudan at Al Khali Shendi. Yeah, the boot was raised there. Free kick. Studs up. Not allowed to do that in the modern game. And they're taking their time over this free kick. Eventually floated out. And that will be a goal kick to Ethiopia. One last chance, perhaps, before the half-time whistle. Well, Hugo Broos, or perhaps count his blessings that his team haven't conceded a goal, but the half isn't over yet. Free kick. Looks genuinely mystified there. The Ethiopian defender, Ashalu Tamane. Well, that looked 6 of one, half a dozen at the other. Needs to get back into defensive mode. His team did not want to concede a goal just before half-time. That would be a psychological hammer blow. Bit of gamesmanship by South Africa. The substitute, Letsuwala, gets back into an onside position. There's a lot of movement, which is what you expect from the attacking side as the shot comes in. Oh my word! South Africa have taken the lead. Would you believe it? Absolute howler by the goalkeeper, Fazil Gebremichael. It's a carbon copy of Ethiopia's opening game against Ghana. Oh dear, you've got to feel sorry for him. And the worst thing that could have happened, what I said Ethiopia had to avoid, has only gone and taken place. Free kick was whipped in, but he should have dealt with it. And look at that. In the end, South Africa take the lead against the run of play. And that, you've got to say, is rather freakish. Mokoena will take the credit. Teboho Mokoena. Surely he couldn't have been expecting that to go in. The man who plays his football in South Africa for SuperSport United. And there is the final, well, the half-time whistle, I should say. South Africa stay on the pitch. Perhaps they can't believe how they've taken the lead. 1-0, the lead they have against the run of play. And Ethiopia now, they've got to get into that changing room as soon as possible and have their coach, Rubetu Abate, steal them for the second half. 1-0, half-time score here in South Africa's favour. Welcome to round two of World Cup qualifying between Ethiopia and South Africa. We're in Group G, where just 1 point separates South Africa, the group leaders, from Ethiopia. This promises to be a crunch game, both teams looking to improve on their chances. Welcome back to this World Cup qualifier in the African zone between Ethiopia and the visitors South Africa in your picture. And if you're just joining us, you missed the most dramatic of finales to the first half. Against the run of play, South Africa snatched the lead from a free kick. A free kick which was not dealt with very well by this young man, and that's an understatement, Fazil Gebremichael. And that mistake, his mistake, is the difference between the two sides. And there was an echo of what happened in Ethiopia's opening game, when his fellow goalkeeper made a similar monumental mistake, which led to him being dropped. The man in question there was Balsha Shanko. And it is Ethiopia who kick off the second half, looking to, well, get back into the game. Can't put it more simply than that. Not only were they in control of the game, but they were creating by far the better chances. Now they're under pressure straight from the kickoff. And they've been rather lucky with that decision. 50-50, I thought. But the referee's decision is final, and Ethiopia have the chance to build. Again, keen to pass their way out of defence, conceding that sucker punch of a goal. Hasn't rocked their confidence in that respect. Well, intercepted. A quick first time pass didn't pay off. Now, what are the nerves of Fazil Gubramaico like after conceding that goal? What approach did his coach take during the halftime team talk? Webetu Abate is known as a disciplinarian. You may remember, on the eve of the World Cup qualifying competition, he axed 4 players. He left them at home for not respecting discipline. They left their team hotel without permission at a training camp in Nazareth, east of Addis Ababa, just days before that first game against Ghana. The goalkeeper who made the mistake in the first game is, of course, on the bench. I wonder if he's to be even-handed. You think logically the coach would have substituted Fazil Gubramaico at half-time, but he hasn't done so. So Shanko will have to wait his turn. Now, Ethiopia were getting a lot of joy by playing slide rule passes, carving up the South African defence. Here they've gone round the defence effectively. Good ball in. And again, but headed out. Still only as far as an Ethiopian player. Emmanuel Gubramaico's ball in is decent. No relation to the goalkeeper. Emmanuel Gubramaico and Fazil Gubramaico. So Rafael, number 8, had a very good first half, particularly the last 20 minutes. That's unfortunate. Shimelis Bekele failed to read the flight of the ball. Vastly experienced. Well, a pocket full of home fans in an otherwise empty stadium. Ashalu Tamene, incisive intervention. He's the man who scored the penalty, which gave Ethiopia the points in their last game. That was against Zimbabwe, right here at this very stadium. All eyes on the goalkeeper, unsurprisingly. Fazil Gubramaico, this could be his first proper test since conceding the goal. Corner kick to Bafana Bafana. Free header, and he made contact. Well, worryingly for Ethiopia, they left the striker unmarked. Vala. Loose ball. Too casual. No communication as well from his teammates, which is just as worrying. First time shot takes a deflection. That'll be a corner kick. But the deflection did draw the sting from the shot, if Ethiopia are looking for positives. Well, it's Kutumela. He's the man who wasn't expected to start, but when Vincent Poulet pulled up in the warm-up, he got his chance. The goalkeeper made a mess of that. That'll be a goal kick, but if South Africa are keen observers, they will have seen the goalkeeper come without getting a clean contact, without getting any contact on the cross. They'll note that, And that might be the cue to pepper the Ethiopian goalkeeper with shots from distance. His confidence at a low ebb. Sort of fell down your shout. Not on the same wavelength there. That happens. 50-50 goes South Africa's way. Still with the Bafana. Effort, that's a side netting. Now, some people might have thought that was in the back of the net. You saw the side netting bulge. South Africa letting Ethiopia play and pass their way up to the halfway line. Both teams operating a 4-3-3 system. Once again, goalkeeper Roman Williams alive to the danger. Had a good game. Kept his side in the game at the end of that first half with at least 2-3 superb saves. One in particular at point-blank range. And that too is very well dealt with. Hasty back pass, read it well. You've seen them go awry, even at the very highest level. But he kept his eye on the ball. Top play. It's more like it from Ethiopia. Keeping the defense on their toes. Easily dispossessed there, though. Zulu gets out of danger. Ball still alive. No, says the referee. Yes, a switch by sort of fell down your shoe. First touch is heavy, enabling South Africa to clear. Don't see too much of Mobi, apart from his long throw-ins. Both sets of substitutes warming up. And as we get to the hour mark, that's when we usually see new legs, fresh legs, new blood. South Africa already have a substitution. That's in the form of Victor Letsowola. He replaced Mabasa. Mabasa was a new addition. He himself was replacing Percy Tau, who's not on the bench. No news of Mabasa. Didn't look to be severely injured. Might have been carrying a knock. Ethiopia's record scorer, the number 9, Getane Kabede. Putting in the hard yards there. Surafel goes for goal. Good effort, just wide of the post. Excellent shot. Got his coach up on his feet applauding. Just a little bit of space for Danyushu. Pulls the trigger. And he generated good power on the shot. Good technique. Goalkeeper Williams seemed to have it covered. Feels for a foul. Referee agrees. And you sense Ethiopia playing with a little more urgency now. They're accelerating their passes. There's more communication between the players. That's the ball over the top, which they favoured in the first half. Thought about the shot. Appeals the handball. Dismissed by the referee. And again, dismissed again. And the counter-attack is on. 2 against 2. Make that 3 against 4. Well mopped up. Referee gets out of the way. Sharpish. And what little crowd there is are playing their part as well. Well, let's see these 2 appeals. Well, the second, no. Had no chance to get out of the way as he was lying straight on the floor. And the first chance, well, if there was contact with the hand, it was very much ball to hand rather than hand to ball. But that said, you have seen them given. Good ball in. South Africa's lone striker, Letsuala, couldn't get on the end of it. I didn't touch his hand. Good decision by the referee. Zulu. I was about to say he'll feel relieved. He dismissed the claim as quickly as the referee. Bekele back in defence. Here he is again, Shimelis Bekele. That's a decent pass. As I say, Ethiopia, they do like to spread the ball around. Took them a while to find their passing rhythm. Like a concentration there. Perhaps Azrat Tunyo is expecting the South African player to make contact first. Took his eye off the ball. Nicely done. Well, he's outnumbered. South Africa slightly playing on the back foot, trying to defend their lead. And his pocket picked there. Playing slightly deeper in the second half for South Africa. That too is a strategy that brings its own risks. And that's the perfect example of it, all the way back to the goalkeeper. Now that was wayward, but once again, the kick was very clean and crisp by Williams. You can see why he's the captain. Excellent shot-stopping ability, not to mention his kicking prowess. Distribution, if you take that last example out of the equation, has been pretty good so far. Again, poor communication amongst the Ethiopian side. Tamene dispossessed. Ran down the blind alley, found himself outnumbered. This is Kutumela. The man he started, when he surely couldn't have been expecting to. Yeah, just as his ankle clipped. Painful. Not taking it, not undermining the effect of the injury, far from it. Well, Ethiopia mean business. They changed their free kick taker. Good header! Over the crossbar. Did he get a touch to it? Well, since he flapped at the corner at the start of the second half, that has been his first real intervention, the goalkeeper, Faso Gebremichael. Which tells you that Ethiopia have been dominating possession as they look to get behind the defence, and they do, but the whistle's gone. Well, that's how good a game Williams is having. Even when he doesn't try, he still makes the save. Play, of course, had stopped. He wanted to play it back. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. Very casual there. That was a good attacking position for South Africa, which once again makes me think that they'd settle for the scoreline as it is, but risky strategy. Well, the game's lost its energy levels, certainly lost its buzz as we go past the hour mark. I think that will suit South Africa more. They've got the noses in front, albeit due to that terrible mistake by the Ethiopia goalkeeper. That's well played. Good battling play. Could do with an overlap here. Here it is. Excellent play. After a long run, showed good stamina, and again. Needs support himself now. Little nutmeg. Not strong enough. But he deserves lots of credit there. And it's the goal scorer, Mokoena. Teboho Mokoena. Like his goalkeeper, Roman Williams, he plays for SuperSport United. There's the ball over the top. That time, no Ethiopian strikers up front. And they're playing their most powerful attack. Getane Kabede is his nation's top scorer. Scored 15 goals last season in the Ethiopian Premier League. The man at number 10, Abubakar Nasir, he got 29, I should say, in 23 games. Can they break their duck here? That's an excellent pass. 3 against 3. It's a patient build-up. Surafel Daniel show. And that is a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. And this could be the first yellow card of the game. And it goes to Tabiso Kutamela. Referee wants his attention. With a marker spray. And finally, there is the yellow card to Kutamela. First of the game, it's been a very physical game, but it's been played in a good spirit. Absolutely no doubt about that decision. Referee got it spot on. Well placed. And now Ethiopia. Could this be the chance to get back on level terms? That's the new technique in international football, or football this season, the so-called draft excluder backstop behind the defensive wall. 3 Ethiopians lining up. Surafel Danyusho in the middle. It isn't him though, and it's a goal! 1-1! Superb technique. The coach is delighted. What a goal. Superbly taken by the captain, Getani Kabede. That was sublime. And Ethiopia deserved that, in my humble opinion. Well, that's relief as much as joy from the coach, Wubete Abate. What a free kick, though. Exquisite. Straight into the roof of the net. Well, I think the likes of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo would have been proud of that. Absolute stunning goal. And here come substitutions. I wonder if they were planned anyway before the goal went in. So off comes Yehun Endeshaw. Had a quiet game. Play goes on. We've got to get confirmation of both those substitutions. I can tell you it's Desta Johannes, the number 13, coming on for Endeshaw. Now the other substitution, well, the number 20 was being brandished. That's Yusuf Ramadan. I must admit, I didn't actually see the player leave the pitch. Now can Ethiopia go ahead? Slightly rattled now, the Bafana defence. That was a hasty clearance by Mashego. There's the coach, Hugo Bros. He lets his younger assistant patrol the technical zone. Corner kick taken short. Hasty clearance, falls nicely. Whistle's gone. Handball. And that's a let-off. For South Africa, that is. Yared by, unintentional. Here's confirmation of the substitution. So, Modesta Johannes, we knew that already. Another long throw by Mobi. This one goes into the 6-yard box, and that's the 2-1. South Africa get back in front. Hugo Bros celebrates. And at last, Mobi delivers a telling long throw. Well, the fact that he kept repeating it showed that South Africa thought at least it was a weapon, and finally it's paid off for them. Perfect riposte to the Ethiopian equaliser. Unmarked. Better pace on the throw. And would you believe it, Mvala this time, another midfielder pouncing to give the Bafana the lead. Well, they took their eye off the ball, not for the first time in the game. And the message from De Rook is just to cool things down. Keep the composure. Cue more animation on the substitutes bench. "18 minutes left to play. 18 minutes for Ethiopia. The Walia Ibex to get back into the game. South Africa have simply been more clinical up front. They've had far fewer chances than Ethiopia. Just a repeat of the substitutions. Endeshaw replaced by Johannes. Ethiopia, oh, they've now got to throw caution to the wind. That's their style of football anyway, I get the impression. Goal difference could yet play a part. That's an easy take for Ronwen Williams. But what I mean is, they may as well go for broke, try for the equaliser. It's a risk, of course. They expose themselves, leave themselves open at the back. Threat of a counter-attack is there. Here's the long ball. Brave challenge by Surafel. Didn't kill the ball dead, but it was good enough. The decision's going against Ethiopia. Dropping their head slightly. Yeah, well, he's leading with his arms. You can't do that. Up until then, it seemed pretty even. Well, the man down is the goal scorer. Two more substitutions. So Bekele comes off, as does Emmanuel Gabriel-Michael, replaced by Yalou. Well, they've played their part. Now they've got to be patient. Ball very nearly led in a South African striker. "15 minutes to go. 15 minutes for South Africa to hold on. This would extend their lead at the top of the table. before the other Group G game coming up later this evening. That's between Ghana and Zimbabwe. And that's a yellow card for Victor Letsoala. Second yellow card of the game, both going to South Africa.
Okay, hou aan, doe je dan niet.
Ethiopia left it late to snatch the points in their last game. 94th minute, deep into stoppage time. They showed their character on that occasion against Zimbabwe. They might just need to do it again here. A daisy cutter of a shot, never going to trouble a goalkeeper of Ramwen Williams' caliber. At the same time, they've got to keep their focus in defence. And again, did the goalkeeper give a call there? If he did, his central defender didn't hear it, didn't respect it. South Africa count down the clock. Bringing on two substitutes. If the FIFA official can get the electronic board the right way up. So Ethan Brooks has come off, had a very quiet game, replaced by Mart. It's going to go all the way back. South Africa on the attack. It's a good 50-51. Oh, fantastic. That could have been game over. Appeals for a penalty, waved away by the referee. He's no nonsense, this referee. Once he makes his mind up, that's it. And interestingly, the second South African substitute is the centre forward, Magopa. So the Bafana philosophy is the best form of defence is attack. And here they come again. That's well dealt with, though. Every South African player back in his own half, defending. So Ethiopia gonna have to show great patience here, as well as wit and imagination. Well, they got the goal from a free kick. Lapse in concentration, fatigue kicking in perhaps. That was Nasser Abubakar. This is the earlier chance for South Africa. The substitute, Magopa, denied by the woodwork. Lovely delivery. That would have been some introduction off the bench. Well, they're playing with more belief now, South Africa. Ethiopia equalised, but didn't last too long. Matter of minutes before Mvala restored South Africa's lead. That's well played, using all his experience there. And he's a forward, is Swangwane. Makes his way back up front. He too looks tired. And if the scoreline stays the same, South Africa will remain unbeaten. 2 wins and 1 draw. Well, that's better by the goalkeeper, Fazil Gibra-Michael. Good confident take. Nice idea. Still with the Walia Ibex. And it's when they come up against that defensive block, they seem to run out of ideas. Yellow card for time wasting for the South Africa goalkeeper, Ronwen Williams. 3rd yellow card of the game for the Bafana Bafana. Ball into the penalty area. Haven't seen that by Ethiopia for a while. Well, they're chasing gamely. Chasing the ball and the game. Playing catch-up. That sucker punch of a second goal really has knocked the wind out of their sails. That's better. It'll do awfully well to keep that ball in play. Yes, it is one of those head-scratching moments for Wubetu Abate. The relief and joy he felt when Ethiopia equalised was short-lived. Ethiopia will be on 3 points from 3 games if the scoreline stays the same. There's still 5 minutes left, though. And that's not taking into consideration stoppage time at the end of the regulation 90. So there is hope. There is some time. Look at that. The lead lasted the equaliser restored parity, but only for 5 minutes as a shot comes in. And once again, well dealt with by Fazil Gibra-Michael. There's the run now. Williams stands his ground. Read the trajectory of the ball as well as the speed. Must be very reassuring for his defence to play in front of him. Very solid goalkeeper. And you could say that's been one of the differences between the two sides today. Well, he deserves a warm round of applause to Surafel Danyasho. He's replaced by Mesudi Mohamed, the man that he replaced at the start of the game. It was the only change in the Ethiopia lineup from match 2. And for my money, Surafel Danyasho has been Ethiopia's best player today. Clock's ticking down. Strange the sense of urgency I felt when Ethiopia were chasing the game 1-0 down. Seems to have disappeared now. And yet they're still a goal down. That could be fatigue. Or maybe just a lack of confidence, a lack of experience for that matter. Massive plays in the middle. So that should be a cue to take the ball out to the wings. Try to stretch this very condensed South African defence. That's what South Africa are doing, but they have more space in which to do so. Just over 2 minutes of regulation time left on the clock. Deep ball in. Anguish cries. But from whose bench? Oh, that's the inexperience I'm talking about. That fancy Dan Flick brings absolutely nothing. Ethiopia lucky to get the throw in there. Sometimes you've got to know when to play it simple, and when to turn on the razzle-dazzle. Spectacular clearance with the diving header. That's the pass, keep it simple. Floated ball in. Naza Abubakar lost his balance. Didn't get the free kick though. He wasn't quite sure. Got the impression he wasn't quite sure what to do with it. Played a simple pass. Side-footed pass. Good control. Slightly got away from him. Gives the midfield of South Africa time to get back. Oh, that was a sign of desperation. There's nothing left for him. Can't blame him for that. He was isolated. And we're into the closing seconds. If not of the match, then certainly of regulation time. Williams dramatically drops to the floor. Got to be careful. He's on a yellow card. Can't afford to dally too much. Just waiting for confirmation of how much stoppage time the referee will add on, and there it is, 4 minutes. So still time for Ethiopia as a shot comes in. Well dealt with by Faisal Gebremichael. And still they insist on the patient build-up. You've got to commend Ethiopia for that. Superb chest control. Now, could this be the final nail in the coffin? Yes, it is. Brilliant finish. Stunning play. What a finish by Magopa. Great composure. Well, he came close after coming on, rattling the crossbar. That's a trademark celebration. Well, they're not falling asleep. He certainly wasn't. Very alive. And didn't he take it well? That's the danger. Great interception. And look at that. Wonderful, wonderful control by Magopa. Just a control. And look at that. Perfect awareness of where the goalkeeper was. And more to the point, where the goal was. 3-1. And that, surely, is game over. And I wonder, I think with his cameo role today, he's more than proven a point to Hugo Bross. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if Evidence Magopa starts in the return fixture on Tuesday against Ethiopia. Well, I think you can feel a degree of compassion. You can feel sorry for Ethiopia. They certainly played their part, especially at the end of that first half. But it's a learning curve for them. Can they bag a consolation goal here? Their only goal came from a free kick. Looped in, that should be food and drink for the goalkeeper Williams. He collapses to the ground, counting down the clock. South Africa talking about counting down the clock. I'd like to bring on another substitute. Yeah, more head scratching for the Ethiopia coach, Wubetu Abate. And Mokoena, the goal scorer, replaced by Tabani Zuke. He has less than 20 seconds to make a contribution to this game. And it could be a fourth. South Africa on the counter-attack again. And Ethiopia concede a free kick. Well, this could very well be the last act of this game. Four goals. We had to wait till the 44th minute before the first of them. Floodgates rather opened in the second half. Can South Africa add a fourth? Certainly boost their goal difference. And there is the final whistle. Cue celebrations at the South Africa camp. Final score 3-1. And you have to say, it's a rather flattering score for South Africa. Ethiopia made it a lot closer match than the scoreline suggests. It was Mokoena who gave the Bafana the lead on the stroke of half-time. Kebede equalised for Ethiopia. Anvala restored South Africa's lead. Magopa, the substitute, making the final score 3-1. Spare a thought for this young man, Fazil Gebremichael. His mistake, a howler of a mistake at the end of the first half, changed the complexion of the game. I wonder, had it not gone in, but the final score had been different. Well, ifs and buts and all that. Well, look at that. Got to admire South Africa's passion. There's Mobi. The man whose long throw in led to the second goal. That too was a game changer. Well, the upshot is South Africa will consolidate their lead at the top of the group, throwing down the gauntlet to Ghana. Ghana were in joint second place in this group, level pegging with Ethiopia at the start of this match. Zimbabwe, they're rock bottom with just 1 point. So now realistically, South Africa will think their main challenge will come from Ghana. And those celebrations will continue into the changing room, that's for sure. And certainly on the flight back to South Africa ahead of the reverse fixture against Ethiopia, which is next Tuesday. That's something for Bafana fans to look forward to. Job well done, it has to be said. And that's good to see. Good of interaction with fans. Well, it was a game played behind closed doors, so I can only imagine they're either family or friends or dignitaries. So here are the final standings. South Africa sitting pretty with 7 points, yet to lose a game and a goal difference of 3. Ghana, they're next up against Zimbabwe. And Ethiopia, well, their second defeat of the table leaves them down in 3rd place with the worst goal difference. Zimbabwe, they're propping up that group. Now, thanks for joining me, Tony Jeffers. Hope you enjoyed the game.